Wrestling fans, and more importantly, WWE fans. Welcome to a special edition, Fabulous Wrestling Talk. We don't really, this is kind of just a where are they now WrestleMania check in, kind of a pit stop check in from the road to WrestleMania. He, of course, is my amazing tag team partner, Daniel Snyder. You may see him on some videos on social media where he looks like he may be Paul Ellering to the New Age Road Warriors in the gym. You really do look like a heel manager. It's really fantastic. It's some good work. I know you don't even mean to do it, which is even better. But before we get into the origin stories of how you're hanging out with a different crew at the gym, how are you?
I'm good, bud. I'm good. I'm actually I'm prepared for Friday's Braves home opener. Not really happy about our 0-7 start, so I'm just But you know what? Once you hit rock bottom, you can't go nowhere but up. We're the only winless team. Two
Is
teams, I
that
believe.
right?
Yeah,
Really?
everybody else has at least one win. It,
Wow.
yeah, and I mean the Dodgers now are
Oh,
like
there we
8-0.
there we
You're a New York Mets fan?
go.
I'm
Oh yeah.
sorry for that. We all can't be perfect.
How many wins you got again?
Zero.
Oh
Hence,
yeah.
we can't be perfect. But
Nope.
the two teams that we've here, that's the thing. The two teams that we've played so far this year are the only two teams in the major leagues that's still undefeated.
One is not surprising at all. The other one's kind of interesting.
Padres, yeah, Padres just have been 7-0, and the Dodgers are 8-0. But that's baseball. Ask me how I was doing. Not good. I'll be doing good after we win tomorrow. But um,
I will.
yeah, it was a 7 week separation between the last premium live event and WrestleMania. We planned on
Mm-hmm.
meeting at the halfway mark. Got kind of thrown off last week. Went to go see a movie. Did I tell you what ended up happening in that with that
No.
situation? So we went to go see Novocaine. I seen that it would starting at like 7:40. We get there at 7 o'clock and order. I'd say we want 2 tickets for this movie. Went to the Carrollton one. Ordered our nachos, my drink. She ordered her stuff. When I say she, I'm talking about my wife. And the lady says, "Oh wait, we don't have Novocaine showing at 7:40." I said, "Yes, y'all do." And she said, "Are you sure?" And I pulled up my Regal app, and it was in Douglasville, and I was in Carrollton. So we seen the woman in the yard. We just
Hmm.
randomly picked a movie that was starting in 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. How was that?
Horrible. It was horrible.
What What was better, the nachos or the movie?
The nachos were 10 times better. The movie I was not happy with it at all, but we watched Novocaine at home the next day, which was a great movie.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, the last two movies I saw a couple weeks ago, Queen of the Ring. I had to drive all the way to Douglasville
You
to
told
do
me about
so.
that.
Fantastic movie. And before that, I saw Iron Claw what last year. So that kind of tells you my movie habit.
There you go. There you go.
You can't say you're a diehard wrestling fan and miss
If you
both of
don't
those
go see
movies.
all the
And
movies,
I
hey,
saw them on the opening weekend. So
love that.
that shows how much of a life I have.
That leads into
It
what the
does,
cards
right?
and everything looks like. What looking like heading into this in 2 weeks, right? We about 2 weeks away.
Uh, I think we're 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away. We're real
It's
close.
it's
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 right
got to
before
be
Easter, so I think we're 2 weeks.
2 weeks away. Yeah, it's actually the weekend of Easter,
Or no,
and
it
also,
is Easter, so it's 3 weeks. Yeah,
nah, well, I mean, it's 2 weeks from this weekend
yeah, yeah. There you go, there you go.
because
But
also week
yeah,
night two is going to be 420, so we're all going to get high and watch it on
depending
Easter.
on how it goes, we'll find out how much of the WWE management was high when they made the show.
Yes. Speaking of,
Yeah. Speaking of high spots, which match do you want to start with?
um,
In
you know
fairness,
what,
we're not going to talk winners. We're not going to talk that kind of stuff. We're going to talk
we're just
about
going to
kind
talk
of
leading
report
up
cards,
to it.
where they are up to this point, kind of where things are going, and we'll do winners the week before this show.
Well, let's talk about what I feel has been a big letdown so far. The lead up of Cody and Cena. I haven't been impressed with this at all. They are dropping the ball on this so hard.
It's
It's
awful.
Yes. I'm like, well, like, how do you do so good on Elimination Chamber night just to fumble 5 straight weeks or 4 straight weeks. This
Mm.
is this is horrible.
This is something like they would do. This is something like they would do.
This is
And trust me,
it's
hey, Cowboy Nation, I'm a card carrying member here, but this
yeah, he
is
is
something like
diehard.
they do.
He's
They
diehard.
fumble it that bad.
Like I'm like, what are they like? For one, when you finally do get to see Cena and Cody in the ring for the first time
Yeah.
After Cody got beat down, Cody doesn't touch him. The second time, Cody doesn't touch him. They've yet to even mention why Cena even really joined with The Rock. The Rock hasn't showed up. There's been no mention of The Rock. Like, what was the point of all of that?
Let me find that. There was a crazy stat that I saw earlier. Here it is. All right, this guy named Chris Van Vliet or Vliet or something. He's become really kind of synonymous doing these interviews with all kinds of wrestlers. He actually does a really good interview. He was talking to Samoa Joe. WWE fans remember Samoa Joe from his NXT days. Anybody away from WWE knows Samoa Joe might be one of the best athletes on the
TNA.
planet.
That's where I remember him
Yeah,
from.
TNA,
TNA
AEW, Ring of Honor. He just completely tore up everything and then got to
with AJ
WWE. And
Styles.
yes, yes, absolutely. But this Chris guy asked Samoa Joe about in-ring promos, and this is a quote from Joe. He said, "I'm not a huge fan of cutting promos with my opponents in the ring face to face and no action happening, because I think at a certain point in life, if two people are arguing and throwing insults back and forth and hands aren't thrown, you both look pretty terrible." And
Yes.
I went, "You're dead on. This fits this absolutely. These two get together, and it's like two polite older gentlemen fighting over the last tapioca pudding. It's nothing's going to come of it, and neither one of them want the pudding."
The complete opposite of this is every time you see Punk in there with Rollins. But
I
that's what I'm
think
saying.
there's real
That's
life
what you
beef
should
there.
be. Yeah, probably so. Probably so.
And
Um,
when Raw, we'll get into this match in a minute, but when Raw went off air, there is 3 or 4 videos, not only from WWE, but from random fans that see Roman and Rollins getting into a verbal altercation to where there's some
so was
not so
this
nice words thrown
so
towards
is
each
this
other.
this previous Monday or the Monday before?
I don't remember because I've been watching the videos part of the week. So I think it was the one, it might have been,
Where they signed the contract?
this week.
Okay,
Yeah, it
so
might have
that'd
been
be
this week.
well, no, this week they didn't sign the contract. It was 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think it was that one.
That's the last one I seen.
Because Punk got them both fired up, and then when he left and Raw goes off air, and apparently Rollins on the way out says something to Roman, and Roman just stops and shoots him a look like, "You want to say it again?" And so Rollins turns and says it again. You see the two of them, and I can't repeat some of the words they're saying to each other. It's enough to where Heyman actually looks concerned, and this is off camera. They all know that they're no longer live on Netflix or anything like that, so there's no reason to really play that up. And Heyman actually looks like, "What is going on?"
So you know what? This right here goes to show how much the Cena and Cody is not doing their job. To where we're talking about a more interesting storyline right now.
Oh yeah.
And I said we go ahead and
Oh, I'll
talk
be
about
honest.
that. There's
Io Bianca Rhea is more interesting than Cody Cena.
man, the AJ Styles and Paul and
Logan.
Paul, yeah, Logan is more interesting right now. To me, you know how much I hate putting Jay in the main event. I would rather see Jay and Gunther instead of Cena
Yeah.
in that main event. Actually, I'd be okay with that. Cena and Cody needs to start one of those nights.
Start night 2. That'd
Start
be
night
great.
two. Have them start night two. Have Gunther and main event
Jay,
end it.
I got no problem with that. Now it doesn't help their storyline, which is why Cody Cena will probably be last. And that's so dumb.
What is helping
But
their storyline? Them meeting up in the ring every day and
nothing.
talking's doing nothing. But you know what? I like that we did get to that Rollins, Punk, and Reigns because I kind of want to talk on that as well because there's a couple of things I'm gonna throw at you. Number one, did you see the whole little where they sat there and they talked? The signing, the contract signing. Did you see that?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
So you seen where Punk got little tears in his eyes. He got that main event, and and Reigns is all like, "You got what you want. You got what you want." And at the
There's
end,
your favor.
yeah, well, at the end, Punk says the main event wasn't my favor,
Nope.
and that's how it ended. I'm about to throw a curveball at you right here, bud. This is what I think is going to happen. Heyman turns on Reigns and Punk and joins Rollins.
But that's the problem is neither of the three of these people need Paul Heyman at all.
They
None
don't,
of them do.
but imagine what that does to Punk and Reigns. Like, first of all, you already think that he's going to turn on Reigns for Punk. That's already in there. Nobody's expecting him to turn on both of them for Rollins.
Look at what comes after WrestleMania, Backlash, or
Yes,
it's we're
it's
like
something like
it goes Backlash and then SummerSlam, right? Something like that. Or no,
I think it's
Backlash,
Backlash, Great American.
Money in the Bank, Great American Bash, one of those, and then
I could
SummerSlam
pull
is
up.
like August.
I'll pull it up while you're.
Because I'm just saying, what if Heyman's the one that goes rogue here and picks none of the above, and Brock Lesnar comes back and inserts himself in the middle of this, and then now we have a four-way coming up.
Um,
I mean, that one's out there, but I mean, we haven't seen Brock.
I don't see. I
The
don't.
clouds, the
It's
clouds
too
over the top of
close.
him have kind of moved on. You could bring him back, and he actually needs Heyman, and Heyman could use that in his defense. That you guys don't need me. He does.
I think it's too close. But also there's a draft following WrestleMania, just for FYI.
Yeah.
You got Backlash, and then you got Battleground, and then Money in the Bank. But no, that Battleground's NXT, so it's Backlash and then Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I expect some call ups and I expect some people on the main roster to be let go right after WrestleMania. And some of them are going to be surprising and some of them aren't. Because there are some people in NXT that are not even knocking on the door to come up to Raw or SmackDown.
Hey, but there's some that's
They set it
ready.
on fire and they kicked it down.
There's some that's ready. Um, so I'm excited for that night one main event. I think it's
Yeah.
upset quite a few people, but that triple threat's gonna be good, and I could see some stuff. I don't know nothing about the AJ Styles and the Logan Paul. I think it's gonna be a great match because Logan's very athletic. I hate that I'm saying it's going to be a great match with Logan because his attitude, but man, he's such a good performer. He is
He
such
knows
a
how to
good
do
performer.
it.
And you know what? AJ Styles does not have bad matches.
No, he doesn't.
So this is going to be a great match. It's
But
wild.
see,
This could
I
open up.
knew I
This
knew
could
Logan was going to be somewhere on WrestleMania. I was hoping it was not going to be some 6-man weird stipulation match or something like that. But I was like, man, who do you match him up with? Ricochet's gone. He already beat him, and it's hard to match him up because he's so athletic. In stepped AJ Styles, and I went, that's the perfect person.
I like I said, this could open up one of the nights. I think it'd be a
I
perfect opening match because
I would consider,
the highs that you're going to have,
yeah.
and just to let
I
you know
know.
also that that and I keep cutting you off because I got a lot of
No,
stuff
you go.
running in my head
Yeah. Oh,
to
same
let
here.
to let you know how much the women's matches suck. They're not even being mentioned in any of the main events, and nobody cares.
No,
The Tiffany and Charlotte match, I think nobody cares, and it's did
no,
nothing. Tiffany is a great performer. She's a great entertainer. She's not good as a good person. You can't. I think she's a natural heel,
yeah.
and they're not
She needs
letting
to
that
be.
shine. And going against Charlotte, no, for one, nobody wanted to see Charlotte in this match.
No,
And I'm glad that was something that you agreed. You hated seeing her win that as well, correct?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And like I said, there's a few in NXT that they're not going to bump Charlotte, but when we get some of those come up, I'd much rather see Tiffany versus those because they're going to
yes,
be just they're going to set the place on fire.
yes. The other women's title match, they put the title on Sky for some very odd reason, and then she's being overlooked in the entire feud.
I think they put it on her because you had to find a way to get her into the match, and that gives her her Willy Wonka ticket. She's invited to the Chocolate
To
Factory because
WrestleMania.
she's the champion. So because Belair wants the belt, Rhea wants Belair. So in order to tag everybody together, you had to give Io some sort of ticket to get on the ride, and that's her ticket. And and that's kind of her career too. Is that as athletic and actually as good a wrestler as she is, she gets overlooked all the time, mostly because English is not her first language. Now, granted, she can actually talk
Yeah.
better English than she does on TV, and so can Asuka, and so can Kari Sane, and a lot of those. They play up the whole don't speak English very well because it plays better on TV to be the foreigner. But yeah, in this one, better overall performer, Rhea Ripley. Better overall wrestler, Io Sky. Better athlete, coin flip between Io and Rhea. If we were going to run around a track, Bianca Belair wins. Beyond that, I don't even need Bianca in this match. I'd rather see Rhea versus Io again.
I was confused on why we even had Bianca win that match.
Yeah,
Like, why did we not let her be in that whole Naomi and Jade Cargill thing, which has not been mentioned for WrestleMania, but it's obvious it's
nope.
going to be one of the matches.
I think it's going to be a pre-show.
Well, it's going to be an undercard. I could see that.
It's
I
going
could
to
see
get
that.
buried.
It's going to be on one of them, yes, but on the other one, you got to have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, right?
Yeah, that's how you get the other 20 people on the card.
Yeah. Who wins? No,
With
we'll talk about who wins it this year on our next show.
yeah,
In 2 weeks, guys, we'll be back about who we think wins
well,
all
and
these
there's
matches. We're just talking about them.
and we can circle back around. There are two that there's one match we haven't even barely hit at all. Then there's this one, Gunther Jay. I know how you feel about that one as far as
It's
who
going to
you
be a
want
good
to win and
match.
all.
I actually, does Jay deserve the belt? I don't know. I feel like there's other people that deserve it before him or over him.
Sure, but I mean
Um,
that happens anywhere. I mean, I could point to the music business and say some of the most popular acts of all time, or even the most popular ones now, are not the most talented. The most talented sometimes never get signed. It's who can make me the
who
most
can?
money,
Yeah,
who can hype everything now. I'm not saying Jay's the best wrestler. He's a very
at
good
all.
showman, and he really knows how to rile up a crowd, good and bad. The entire family's good at that. And that's what really got him here. Now he's added a lot more and showed people he can do more than punch and kick, but Gunther is going to really wear him out. Like he's gonna run around a lot and keep Gunther running around. But when Gunther gets a hold of him, he's gonna stretch him out like William Regal ever did.
Do you want to know what's got me so upset with the whole Jay main event thing? I will
You
tell
wish
you
it was
what it
Jimmy.
is. Huh?
You
You
wish
said
it was
what?
Jimmy.
No, and I don't even care about that. No, but actually, I thought you kind of hit around the head. I was so excited for that last year's match between them two. Like to me, that was going to be the match that took all the highlight, and it let me down so much to the point where I
Yep.
was like, neither one of them deserved to be single stars. So since then, I haven't gave Jay or Jimmy even a thought of a chance of being superstars.
Yeah.
Now, Jay can change my mind at WrestleMania. If I see him perform like I felt like he should have last year, all this, he don't deserve the belt and he don't deserve to be in this, I will take that. I've got to see a good match. And it can't be one of those that kick fest. I want to see a good, well told
Yeah.
story. They could have told a great story last year and they dropped the ball. And that's why I've been anti Jay and anti Jimmy so much.
I had heard that Jimmy versus Jay last year was one of the matches that the time got cut because people like The Rock and all that like to talk twice as long as they're booked to do and things like that. And that was one of the one that got sacrificed in their defense. I don't know that for sure. There's a chance that they ended it early. There's a chance that they went as long as they were supposed to. But I heard that was potentially one of the time ones that was cut. And so that's probably why it felt a little rushed between the two because I feel like the two could really do a good match.
Well, I didn't even feel it was rushed. I just felt like they did a whole bunch of the same thing over and over and over and over. It was nothing but kicks. That's all it was, slap kicks for the
It was
entire match.
punches, it was super kicks, and it was Samoan splashes, and pretty
Yes,
much
that's
it.
all it was. I'm like, come on, guys. But that's why I'm so anti. If he puts on a good show against Gunther and wins, I'm like, you know what? He deserves it. I'd like to see him to see what he can do with the title now. But we can't
Well,
just
so
put the title on somebody because the crowd liked him. I just don't. Maybe I'm old school in that. Maybe I'm old school in that. Before
I could
Sting, my favorite of
I
all
could point
time.
to about the last 40 years in any wrestling organization and point out a lot of people that were not the best
Well,
wrestlers, but they got popular or they got over as a heel and they put the belt on them.
as a heel, as a heel, not as a face.
Goldberg.
Once again, but he put time in. Like they,
Mm.
but yeah,
About
that was.
200 of
But
those
but here,
300 wins were under 30 seconds. So,
but here's a question though. Here's a question. Did he deserve it? I don't think so. There we
no.
go. That's what I'm talking about. So let's
Yeah.
let's go back to my favorite wrestler of all time, Sting. Before they put the title on him, he was doing hour matches with Ric Flair for almost a whole year. He had to show I can do this, I can carry this, and he was over big with the fans.
Sure.
So I mean, like I said, I
Yeah.
want to see, I want to see, I want to see what he can do. So I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
I said we got 10 minutes, but
Yep. Yeah, we're good. We got plenty of time because there's only one more we hadn't hit on, and I don't think we're going to have that much to say. So,
and then you're going to talk about a couple matches. Well, yeah, a couple matches you feel like that we I guess we could talk about some other matches that be added. You said
yeah.
something about some kind of trivia stuff.
Oh, I'll get to that in a second. RKO versus KO. I think that should open up the card either night one or night two. It should be the
It'll be a
opener,
great match. Both of them.
just like Sammy versus KO did. Let them absolutely old school destroy each other and show everybody how good they are.
I totally forgot about Sammy. He's going to have to make an appearance.
No, Sammy chose to take time away.
But I feel like it's going to be about 6 weeks by the time WrestleMania. I feel like he's going to make an appearance back. Remember, the last time we seen him was Elimination Chamber.
And what if he joins KO?
That'd be interesting. That's what I'm saying. That's something else we got to kind of
Yeah,
weigh in.
but
It's going to be a good match. Randy doesn't have many bad matches, and KO doesn't know what a bad match is.
But I told you I heard an interview that Daniel Cormier of MMA and amateur wrestling fame, Olympic wrestling fame, he did for ESPN with Jey Uso right after the Royal Rumble win. And I think Cormier brought it up to Jey, or Jey brought it up that of Jey's entire family, like think all the way out because there's one that's a little farther out, and the other ones are kind of pretty similar. If he wins the belt at WrestleMania, he will only be the fourth male of his entire family to be the world heavyweight champion. Can you name the other three?
Did High Chief Maivia win one? Oh, are we talking about his WWE's belt, right?
Uh, yeah, yeah, WWE
Well,
champion. We'll go WWE. Yeah,
we know The Rock won.
yep, that's one. That's the one that's far out.
That's the obvious.
The other one were like 90s, 2000.
I'm thinking, is that not Rikishi? Did Rikishi win? Never won it.
Well, actually,
Haku.
one's more modern and one's back in the 90s, 2000.
I'm saying Haku never did.
And the more recent one should be pretty easy. The one a little further back, it's a stretch
I know
because
we're talking about Roman Reigns, but I'm
because
not.
yep, that's the modern one. But the one further back, uh, his gimmick or his character never reflected Samoan anything.
Give me a second. And it was the WWE title.
Yeah, this guy held WWF. He has wins against
Yokozuna. Yokozuna.
Yokozuna.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yes,
Okay.
that was
Yeah.
Rodney.
Yeah. Rodney. Yeah. Yokozuna was I was going through my head of all the WWE champions.
Right.
Um, because I was thinking, I was like, I know Rikishi was in for it, but that's right, he never did win.
Right.
He was an IC champion, I believe. Um, Haku, Fatu, all them did tag team
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I guess High Chief Maivia, he never held the WWE. He had his own little shit.
Yep.
Yokozuna, yeah, and I think he won the belt
Yokozuna beat
off
beat
of
Hogan, beat
and Bret
Bret
Hart.
Hart, beat Shawn Michaels, beat almost everybody during the like what mid to late 90s.
Luger, who's in the Hall
Yeah.
of Fame. Hey, we got
Luger.
time. Let's talk about the who all is going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I mean, the obvious Triple H is I mean, obviously they had to go around him to do that, but he
Yeah.
1000% deserves to be in. But I saw the natural disasters are going in. I think that's fantastic. Both of them had like 30-year careers, did so much everywhere. Um, Michelle
Um,
McCool,
yeah, Michelle McCool.
she had a big impact when she was in there. Luger, and then they're inducting the double heel turn Bret Hart versus Stone Cold. Did I miss one?
That's what I'm looking up right here, trying to see.
Usually there's a celebrity.
There is
I
a
think I missed
celebrity. I just don't know. Let me see inductees.
who
We
else they
got
put in.
Triple H, Michelle McCool, Lex Luger, The Natural Disaster, Stone Cold. That's it so far. No,
Okay.
no. Okay,
So
so
probably in the next week or so we'll
we'll
see
get a celebrity, and
celebrity.
so I think I've heard Dennis Rodman as a possible.
That's not a bad one. He could
Um,
he wasn't bad. I mean, I don't care if they
he
put
was
Shaq
big in
in for all it
WCW.
matters.
Yeah. So the little thing with Lex Luger, Lex Luger says that he wants to have two people induct him. He wants it to be Sting and DDP. Now, in order for
Both
Sting
are
to
both
be
are free agents. They're not signed with
uh,
anybody.
Sting is signed under AEW. AEW, there's been a little something going on where that's kind of pausing of it. Now they've said that his name's Tony Khan.
Tony Khan. Yep.
Yeah, he's going to be asked, or they said that he's been asked and he hasn't made a decision yet if he's going to allow Sting to come over here. I feel he
I'd
should
do it
allow,
anyway.
huh?
I'd do it anyway if I sting. What are you gonna do? Sue me? Okay, great. Here's the money.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like, well, here's my thing. If I was Tony Khan, I'd say I'm going to allow it because Lex Luger's a legend, and this is me telling WWE I can be the bigger man. I
Hmm.
know I can borrow. Plus, when you think of, once again, Sting is my all-time favorite. When you think of Luger, you think of Sting. That's
Absolutely.
just me. That's just I've always hand in hand. Either they're best friends or fighting each other, or um. I'm so happy Luger's going to the Hall, man.
Me too.
I was a Luger mark.
I wasn't
Uh,
quite that. He was one of my mom's favorites, and she didn't watch very much, but she said he had
I
very
could
pretty
understand.
eyes. So very pretty
Yeah,
eyes for Lex Luger. So anytime he was on, she go, "Oh, there's that Lex Luger. He's got those pretty eyes." Thanks, mom.
yeah, eyes,
Dinner
right?
ready yet?
His body was okay too, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't it wasn't the physique of my dad or anything, but you know shout out to shout out to my dad having the uh impeccable muscles my whole life. But yeah, I thought Lex really had such an interesting career, whether it was WCW or WWE, and he earned his way both directions as far as I was concerned.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Couple minutes left. Like we said, there's 7 total matches they have booked. We just kind of briefly went into them where things are right now. More than likely, I would say 3 to 4 more matches will be added. They love to put 5 on a card, so that means 3 more could be added. They have only said that RKO versus KO and Roman Punk Rollins on night 1 and Cody versus Cena on night 2 are the only ones I've seen actually put on days. The other 4 matches have not been assigned. Probably just looking to see how things shake out between here and there.
Plus, they want to make sure they got anything covered if something happens.
Yep. That's
Um,
something Jay hit on in that interview. He said, "Yeah, I gotta play it real good. I still got to go out there and perform, but I got to stay healthy between now and then."
and that's for everybody.
Yeah, that's for us. We can't get too banged up before this thing.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks. It depends on what happens if we lose tomorrow night, man, or Friday night, because I don't know when you're watching this. April the 4th, if the Braves lose, I'm probably gonna pick up a chair and hit somebody.
That's good to know because I know where you'll be watching that, and I will make sure I am at least an hour away.
It's all right. Well,
But
guys,
that's gonna
go ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, hey, let people know. I'm about to let them know.
Yeah,
I'm streaming here and there on YouTube still. Look for me, Daniel Snyder 8361 or 8 something something something. It's
that
usually
sounds right.
somewhere. Yeah. But the new Call of Duty map, Warzone has been uploaded, so we're gonna be getting on that tonight. Um, Also, plug your stuff away because you got so much stuff going on. I just don't know how you got time to eat, bud.
Yeah, I had two things of applesauce before I got on here today. But at the Impact 99 on all the social medias, but we are slow on time or low on time. So for my tag team partner Daniel Snyder, I am Jeremy York. This has been Fabulous Wrestling Talk, WWE, WrestleMania check-in, pit stop, whatever it is. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks to preview the card. Until then, deuces gooses, go watch wrestling.
Yeah, watch it. We're done.